Good morning, everybody, and welcome here to Kansas Speedway. We are now joined by Dale Earnhardt Jr., driver of the number 88 Nationwide Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. And before we get into today's media availability, I want to welcome up to the stage Kansas Speedway Track President Pat Warren, who has a few cool surprises for him.
Yeah, first, I apologize for the dog and pony show. We'll try to minimize it. Thank you for being here. Dennis, if you could come up. We were supposed to have one of the nice big presentation checks. Didn't happen because our sign guy got hurt, ironically, given that we've got our medical director here. But in your honor, we're making a contribution of $8,800 to the University of Kansas Health System's pediatric unit. Awesome. So Dennis, who hopefully you won't have to see anytime this weekend, but manages the care center for us, is here to represent that on behalf of KU. So.
Yes, very much. Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, second, this is just for me personally. As a father of four, I thought Dale we could use this. So, the expectant father, good luck, light reading for you on the plane.
Yes, sir.
And then we've got one more thing. If we can lower the screen, where's the easiest place to watch it? You may just want to come down here.
Hey Dale, I'm always amazed at how time flies by, how fast it goes by. You know, I sit back and I think about being with your dad and walking into the old bush shop and seeing you and Tony Jr. underneath a late model stock car, beating and banging, trying to get a piece of weight out from the frame. To watching you develop as a race car driver. I remember being with your dad driving around the farm in the winter of '97, and he told me that he was going to put you in a bush car full time. And I asked him, "You think he's ready for that?" Dale said, "You're damn right he's ready for that." And of course, you proved him right. You won the championship in '98, and then again in '99. And then it took 12 whole races for you to win your first Winston Cup victory at Texas. It's been fun to watch that. It's been fun to watch you grow. It's been fun to watch you become two-time Daytona 500 champion. But more than anything, I can flash back to that win in Texas. And yeah, it was great that you'd won, but what was so impressive to me was how proud your dad was that day. It's been a wonderful experience sitting back and watching you accomplish what you've accomplished. But what you've accomplished is kind of hindsight to what you've become for me. You've become an outstanding person. You've become an outstanding man. It's just been a fantastic career. So I just wanted to take a few minutes to congratulate you on that. I know you and Amy are going to have a blast in your retirement, but it's been fun. It's been fun watching you. It's been fun watching you compete. It's been fun watching you grow. So once again, congratulations on a tremendous career and a tremendous life. Good luck, Dale.
So, you may have noticed that Ned Yost was wearing the 3, and he wears that in honor of your father. And the Royals wanted you to have a jersey with your name on it, but Ned's number and your father's number. So we'll get this framed for you and other things later, but we wanted you to have that. Ned had reached out to us and really wanted to do something. He couldn't be here today, but
Thank you.
congratulations on a great career.
so much.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
That's a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, that's really emotional. Ned's been a great family friend and just so supportive of me, and it's really nice to hear his memories and his thoughts. And I appreciate the track for the donation within their community here. That means a lot to me. That's really what we're hoping the tracks would take the initiative to do, and it's been great all year to see that happen. And so I'm glad that you guys did that, and that really makes my heart full. So I appreciate that, and I see a lot of fans here this weekend. signed a lot of autographs walking in here. We got a lot of people that are excited about this race, and it's good to be able to connect with the fans at each racetrack throughout the weekend, and just really, just really appreciative. Just thank you so much for the effort that you put in to make me feel really special. So thanks a lot for that, and hopefully we keep coming here for many, many more years, and we'll continue to help the Speedway however we can. Whatever you guys ever need, I'm just a text or a phone call away, and excited and eager to help. So look forward to many more trips here and enjoying the Speedway in the area, especially the barbecue.
Okay. With that, we'll open the floor for questions. We'll start with Holly, and we'll work our way around.
Hi, Dale. Wanted to obviously ask you a little bit about your and Amy's big news that you're sharing with us. I have to tell you, at Dover, I remember you speaking quite a lot, and I said to myself and the person sitting next to me, I wonder if something's going on there. So indeed it is. Congratulations. And if you could just talk about how special that is for you. And
Yeah, we've known since September, and it's just been or actually since August, I guess. Oh man, it's just been really hard to keep that in and not share, or wanting to share with family, and obviously, this is our family, all the folks here in this room. A lot of you guys are very close to me and mean a lot to me. All the people in the garage. I mean, I just couldn't wait to tell everybody, and I just certainly we have a lot of checkups, and we're very thankful and looking forward to the whole process of watching and being involved. And I mean, I'm just trying to be as supportive as I can to Amy, making sure she feels well and is comfortable, and I'm just trying to soak in all the experiences of going to the doctor and listening to the heartbeat and all those little things that you do. They're incredible. I have, it's just so, I guess the thing that, hits me is I've watched all my friends, a lot of them, have kids. My sister have kids, and I was happy for those milestones in their lives, but I had no idea what that really meant. And as we start, as we found out, and we're going through these little moments through the pregnancy, it's just hitting home how impactful that child has been in all the lives of my friends and family. And I just really didn't understand or appreciate, I guess, how incredible that moment must have been for them, and how their lives completely changed. And I saw it from a completely different point of view when I wasn't experiencing it myself. So I look at my friends completely different. I look at my sister completely different, knowing what I know now and what I'm learning as I go. And I know that there's more to be exposed to, and more enlightening and more eye-opening experiences that'll make me not only appreciate what me and Amy we have, but what my friends and family and folks that I'm very close to have, and what they've experienced. Because I thought I knew, childbirth is exciting. It's awesome to have children, and everybody says it changes your life, and everybody says it's the greatest thing ever, but you just don't know till you really go through it. And I certainly have my buddy, one of my friends, Sean Brawley, when he had his son a couple years ago, and he posts pictures of the boy all the time in our little text message. We have a bunch of friends in there. And I look at it completely different. I was like, I understand he's excited, and I can't really understand that emotion, having not gone through it, and his pride in his son, and just the little things they do, the many firsts that they have. And I get it now. I mean, I understand where that pride comes from, where that excitement comes from, where that wanting to share those moments comes from, and I hate that I didn't appreciate it as much, but you just don't till you know, till you go through it. So that's something that's really eye-opening. But I'm thrilled to, I'm thrilled to be in this position in my life. I know that Amy's changed my life a lot, and I imagine this baby's going to have the same impact, and just can't wait to meet her. I'm just thrilled to meet her. It's just taken forever.
We'll go next to Lee, then to Bob, then to Jerry.
And here we thought you were just getting to drive that 2-car around the track last week. And I was talking to Greg yesterday after qualifying. He was saying how sensitive this track is, and that just an inch moving your line can make all the difference in the world. Then you factor in the wind. Can you, for people who don't understand that, can you explain how critical every spot on this racetrack is?
Yeah, every track you go to, the wind is really important to take note of initially before you go out on the track, so you can understand how that's going to affect the car and what you're feeling. Especially at a place like Kansas when it's blowing 15, 20 miles an hour on some days. So if you have wind on the nose going down the back straightaway, but it's in your back going into turn one, I mean, the car is just going to have a different balance on each end of the track. And so you got to think about what you're working on, what you're trying to fix, what part of it's the wind and what part of it's not. The wind has a habit of changing 180 from one day to the next. Are you going to be, if you got a lot of air on the nose getting into turn 3, the car's just going to drive down in there really good. You're going to feel so much downforce and side force as you enter that corner. You're going to have the complete opposite feeling into turn 1. If the wind, if you're working on those balance issues on Saturday, and then the wind changes, you sort of you wasted your time, or you got your hands full with new issues. So you just gotta, you gotta watch the wind prediction. It's really critical at some of these places like Kansas, where it's quite high on the gusts and stuff. And the track is line sensitive, but not. I think I love that you can move to the wall. I mean, as a driver, we love having so many options in the corner, and this place just gives you everything. This place just opens itself up to whatever you want to try. It's a perfect scenario as far as multiple grooves, and it's not just fast at the top as the track builds rubber. The middle stays relatively competitive. And so it's not like you just only have one, it's not like you run on the bottom all weekend and then everybody moves to the top at some point and that's it. The track really stays competitive all the way across the board. And it's just been, it was a great track before they reconfigured it. It's still a great track. And I think the asphalt they used, how it's aged, how well it's held up to bumps and so forth. I mean, we have a tunnel in 3 and 4. There's no bump there. There's no frustrating issue like, you have a lot of tracks with bumps in the tunnels and stuff. This place is just built so well, and it's really just widened out. It's such a fun racetrack. So really look forward to coming here and racing here. But the wind is a bit of it's a bit of a curveball that you don't deal with at most of the racetracks or some of the racetracks. It's pretty windy out here. So you just got to think about that and what that's doing to the car, and are you going to have that same wind direction on race day? Is it going to be less? You're going to be different direction? How's that going to affect the balance of the car, and what do you need to do to work on that?
Go next to Bob, then to Jerry.
Bob Harkers, ESPN. When you look back on your career and your life and just all the ups and downs in the public eye, do you feel charmed? Do you feel like it's been a bizarre life? I would say most people say it's far from normal, but how do you view it?
Lucky, so fortunate. Just it's a lot of times you don't feel like you deserve some of the fortune. Just the chance. Being born to Dale Earnhardt Sr. I mean, he was a hell of a guy. And aside from just the doors that it opened up to me as a driver, and it certainly made my progression easier. Just being able to be around him and learn from him and feed off of that knowledge and his way of approaching things was such a good fortune. I'm thankful for that all the time. And yeah, I mean, it just seems like we had so many, I don't know if they're lucky breaks or just being in the right place at the right time. A lot of the association of my dad was a big part of it. I mean, we got lined up with Budweiser right out of the gate into the Cup Series, shot us into the stratosphere as far as our name recognition and building our brand. I had no idea what all that was then, but it certainly it's still paying off today. And the things we did with Budweiser early out of the gate, the Rolling Stone article, Cribs on MTV, and all those things that they opened the door to pay off today, still reaping the benefits of all that opportunity. And yeah, I mean, you've been able to go do things and talk to people and meet people and mingle with folks that you never thought you'd have a chance to talk to or engage with. And then you just think about the racing, the success. I didn't think I was going to win any races. I didn't think I was ever going to be a Cup driver. When I was a kid, before I started racing in the Xfinity Series, I thought that I was never going to get a chance. And then if I did, I wasn't going to run well enough to maintain that opportunity and keep progressing. I just didn't look at myself with a lot of confidence or I didn't think, man, I'm a great driver. Boy, just give me a shot, From what I could tell, I didn't know whether I was a good driver or not. And so I just didn't know, how things are going to work out. So on the racing side, I know that, there's people that look at our statistics and they're underwhelmed because there was so much expectation coming in. That there was almost, it was maybe, people felt it might be a given that we would have won a championship in our career at some point at the Cup level. But when I look at the accomplishments, I know I'm disappointed we didn't win a championship, but I never thought I'd even get close. I never thought I'd ever win a Daytona 500. I never thought we'd win, Sweet Bristol. I mean, all the little things, I just never thought any of that stuff was going to happen or be possible. So when I look at my career, it just blows me away that we were able to do what we did, and I was able to do it with the people I was with and driving for Rick now. I mean, I looked at Rick Hendrick and all that stuff back when I was at DEI. I thought they were here, they were the best, and I'd never get a shot to work with a team like that. I had a lot of, I had a strong connection, family connection to DEI, but I never put ourselves on the same pedestal as I did Hendrick Motorsports, and I don't think anybody in the sport really did. At certain episodes through the 90s and 2000s. But so I never thought I'd have an opportunity to race for a team like that, one of the best in the business. So just it has been odd and unexpected for sure. But I feel fortunate and just so, I hate to use the word blessed because everybody uses that word a lot, but I just feel lucky as hell. I just didn't. To not have screwed it up somewhere along the line. I wasn't always, we raised hell and partied and in the early 2000s, Budweiser, all that stuff, it sort of was, they wanted me to just raise hell and drink beer, and it's a wonder what we could have accomplished if we'd have just focused on racing. But I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest with you. I had a lot of fun, won a lot of races.
Go next to Jerry, then to Dustin, then to Brent.
Jerry Jordan, KickingTheTires.net and Performance Racing Network. You wanted a girl over a boy.
Yeah.
And as a father of a girl, it's going to go by really quick. But there's a question I
I don't
have.
feel like it.
It's going to happen. But ballet or bandoleros, have you even given that a thought yet?
No. Man, I know. I'm just praying for health, and I know that's a given. But y'all been in, the few of you in here that have been in this situation before. During the pregnancy, you're just like, just be healthy and have all your little fingers and toes. And once you get beyond that, I think you start thinking and daydreaming a little bit. But we'll get to that point after we have a healthy baby in our arms. I can't even imagine, holding my child. So I'm just looking. I can't think beyond that.
Dustin?
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. What was it like to hear the heartbeat?
Oh, I got a little film of it on my phone, and we just busted out laughing. It was great. I mean, it made it more real. It was we were pinching ourselves, even still. We look at each other, and we're sitting on a couch or walking around the house or something, and just have to remind ourselves that we're going through this position, this pregnancy, and we just can't believe. We just can't believe it. So anytime you hear the heartbeat or do something like that, or go do an ultrasound or something like that, it makes it's like, hey, it's happening. This is happening. You get a little scared, you get excited, But that was we went for a checkup. Amy's like, she took a couple tests and she's, tests saying she's pregnant. We went to the doctor, and I'm still thinking, man, I ain't believing crap till this doctor tells me. So we're sitting in there for like 20 minutes, and they're talking, woman language. I'm not understanding. They're just talking about things, and I'm like, well, when's she gonna say it? Like, I want to hear it from the doctor's mouth that she's pregnant, so we can rejoice. And so, it took a while. I was scared to speak up. I just was like, finally they said something that hit, that confirmed it for me, and I was like, awesome. And then we had the ultrasound and got to hear the heartbeat and all that right there. It was great. So we go back for another checkup here soon, and a couple days, and those are awesome. Those are so much fun because it's like closest you can get to it before they're born. So looking forward to each and every one of them.
Why do you laugh? I don't think that's the reaction.
Yeah, it's sort of it's like I don't know, not like a funny ha-ha laugh, more like something just comes out, I'd play it for you. You just burst out like joy, I don't know, it wasn't funny ha-ha, but it was just like, a joyful moment. Like, I mean, somebody says, your wife's pregnant, that registers a little bit, but man, when you hear that heartbeat, it's like, yep, it's real. This is a real thing in there, and it's here. This is, oh my God, this is happening. So just all this emotion just pops out. Huh? Shoo. Okay. Amy might be upset about this. If y'all, it just take me a second to find it. We have a little photo stream called the Blueberry, because that's what it initially was, the size of a blueberry. When it's probably going to be service-wise. I only have one bar of LTE, so I don't think we're going to be able to listen to it. But yeah,
We'll move on here. We'll go to Brent. We'll go to Tyler, and then we'll finish with Pat.
Brett Lamb, Speedway. Oh, sorry.
yeah, no problem.
Brett Lamb, SpeedwayDigest.com. I think you touched on it earlier, but what is it about this track in the surrounding Kansas City area that stands out from the other places that you go to? And what is it about Kansas City area that you admire the most?
Well, I mean, obviously, I love barbecue and learning about smoking barbecue and all that stuff. And this is like the capital of the world, the country. I'm sure there's some people in other parts of the country to debate that, but for me, this is some amazing places to go eat barbecue. And if it's a hobby of yours, that's kind of cool. So also one of the things, we started cycling this year, and we go about 2 miles from the track to this lake right over here, and there's a 6.8 mile loop on it. It's dedicated. It's pretty nice, and there's a park. And I would have never cared about this 5-10 years ago, but as we go to some of these racetracks, getting out of here and cycling, you see the area that you don't take an opportunity to see. And so it's really beautiful. When we didn't, last time we were here, I took Amy and the dogs over to that park during an Xfinity race, and just sitting there and just taking it easy. It's the kind of thing that you learn to appreciate, I guess, about certain parts of the country. And just Kansas, I mean, this area is just so cool. The track itself, like I said, it's just a fun racetrack. You can run all over it, and it's a place where you're kind of you're not cornered to run. You're not just limited to running one groove, like at Indy or somewhere like that, where there's one way through the corner and that's it. Make your car work or it don't work. Here you can move around, change how your car drives, and this track really widens out, really nice. It's so awesome. So, yeah, I mean, it's a great trip, man. It's fun to come here. Some tracks you got nothing to do, nowhere to go. You sit in the bus and just go bonkers. But here you can get out and enjoy, and it's a great part of the country.
Tyler Jones, KLW in Lawrence. Dale, as you near the end of your career here, these last few races, how is it that you personally want to be remembered? What do you want your legacy to be going down the road?
Yeah, I just hope people enjoyed me, enjoyed being around me. I hope my competitors thought I was a good driver. Hope they admired my skill and ability, and that I raced them as a professional or a gentleman. But I hope that it's important to me that all the guys in the garage, all the crew guys and everybody, I have so much respect for them, and I hope that they have the same amount of respect for me. And I feel the same way about the media. Anybody who travels week to week to week and is here in this whole thing, whether you're an official or Mike Helton or a mechanic on a Dylan's car. We all have so much respect for each other for the travel and the work and effort goes into being here, and I hope that they have the same amount of respect for me. That's all that matters, I guess, is that people think you're a good person and fun to be around, and when the wins and all the successes are great, but at the end of the day, it's kind of about who you are and whether you're a good dude, and people tend to remember whether you were nice or not. And no matter how many races you win or lose, it really comes down to whether you were all right and or not very good. And so fun, so I hope people enjoyed being around me and enjoyed having me as a part of the sport, and I want to continue that. I mean, I'm going to try to do really well with the broadcasting, and I want to continue to earn respect, and I want the people that work in this industry, no matter what their job is, to appreciate me being a part of it. So I'm going to work really hard on the next chapter to continue to try to be an asset, helpful, thoughtful, caring, and continue to try to grow the sport, and try to keep those things at the forefront of the priorities in my career, my professional career.
Pat Nicole, NASCAR.com. With parenthood, you quickly learn that you get a whole lot of unsolicited advice.
Yeah.
Has that started for you yet? And
Sure.
So what's the best thing you've learned?
Well, I don't know whether I've really been able to apply any of it yet to know what the best part is, or the best information is. Everybody says obviously try to get your sleep now because the first several months are very difficult, but we can't. You know, we're laying in bed, just can't sleep. We're so excited. I kind of want to get some sleep now, but we just lay in bed, just tossing and turning all night, both of us. And you know, I don't know. I don't know that it's just like, I don't know that you can, you know, you can read books and I got an app on my phone and trying to get as much information as I can to understand how to make Amy comfortable as I can, and it's very helpful. You know, I think some of the most helpful advice for me is probably what can I do to make it easier for Amy. And these, you know, the advice that I've gotten is she don't care what you did that day. She don't care how your day was, so don't try to tell her. You know, if you had a rough day or whatever, just shelf it, and you know, try to keep on being an assistant, you know, to whatever she needs at all times, and that's pretty easy to remember because I feel that way already, you know, about her. So she actually has to kind of tell me to back off because I'm so like, what can I do? What do you need? What can I get you something? So, but it's awesome. I mean, somebody said the other day that, you know, you thought you were in love with your wife, you're just gonna love her more, and with this child coming into your lives, and it's so true. I mean, you know, just like marriage, I'm frustrated with myself for waiting so long, you know, in my life to get things figured out. Yep.
Well, Dale, appreciate you taking the time. Good luck not only in the race this weekend, but in the adventure to come.